go over to the book of Luke, chapter 23. I hope y'all getting this. I hope you don't leave here with a new perspective on who you are in God. Luke chapter 23. We're going to look at the crucifixion of Christ. Luke chapter 23. We want to start down at verse 32. Here we see a critical point in Christianity. We see two perspectives. We see two vantage points. We see two sides of the same coin. We're faced with two young men, one on Christ's left side and one on Christ's right side, all in the same situation, two different outlooks. Verse 32, and there were also two other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. And the people stood beholding, and the rulers also with them derided him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he be Christ, the chosen of God. And the soldiers who also mocked him, coming to him, offering him vinegar, and saying, If thou be the King of Jews, save thyself. And a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew, This is the King of Jews. And one of the malefactors which was hanged railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Dost thou fear God, seeing thou art in the same condemnation, and we indeed justly? For we receive the due reward for our deeds. But this man has done nothing amiss. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Here's the situation. We're all in the same boat. Each and every single day, we run across who are like our two men on the side of Christ. We have people every single day where it's a toss-up. And their eternity is in your hands. Their final resting place, their final perspective is in your hands. Where they end up in eternity is up to you. We need to make sure that they have an opportunity to get a new perspective. First is make sure that you understand who you are in God, so that you can go out there boldly as lions and speak the word of truth into the lives of these people. It's imperative. More than imperative. It's mandatory. It's a necessity that you go out and be who God calls you to be. Don't allow the word of God to come in and not return back void. Don't allow the word to just fall flat. Don't allow the word to just sit in the back of your car window. Don't allow the word to just sit on the shelf in the living room. The word is quick and powerful, sharper than a double-edged sword. But it can't be that if it's just sitting. Because everything that God does is moving. He tells us it's living, it's breathing, it's pulsating, it's jumping, it's running, it's living, it's hitting, it's kicking, it's everything. It's not just sitting there. It's just not waiting. It's moving. We serve a God that's living, not in the grave. We serve a God that is alive and is returning. And I want to make sure that you have that perspective to gather as many people as you can. Next slide for me, please. I want you to make sure that when that trumpet sounds, there's going to be a whole multitude of people that you help get there. But it takes you extending your hand. It takes you making a stand. You have to choose today what you will do. As I said earlier, when people come against you, you have to make a stand. Isaiah 59:19. When the enemy comes in like a flood, we shall put up a standard against him. Ephesians 6:13. You got to take on the whole armor of God. Well, like I said in our step 2, we must put on the new man. You must be able to withstand the evil day. And having done all you can, you must stand. Not backing down what God has called you to do, who he's called you to be. Matthew 6:24, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. And finally, so then, because you are lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spit you out of my mouth. I do not want you here today to be spat out of God's mouth. I don't want you not living up to your full potential. I do not want you to fall flat. I do not want you to be ashamed of who God has called you to be. I don't want that for you. God does not want that for you. Choose this day who you will serve. Choose the day to go out. I'm going to make a conscious decision to go out and be the light of the earth, the salt of the earth. I will make sure that when people are around me, they get uncomfortable. When they cussing and carrying around you, when they see you walk in the room, automatically just stops. Just because you're in the room. When people are having a bad day, you just walk in the room, it's just like a breath of fresh air. Just like, oh, I don't know, something like this. Just being around you, I feel much better about myself. But you have to make that conscious decision every single day to choose that I'm going to extend my hand out to God. Are y'all getting that? So I want to make sure, do not be afraid. Do not be ashamed of who God has called you to be. Every day, put on the new man. Make sure you are who God has called you to be. Be bold, be confident, be like lions. And everything that you do, take a stand. Take a stand for what is right. Tim, can you play me something soft?